Hola, me llamo Eddie y mi es el cocinero Cabeza Rapadas. Hoy noche mi cocinara tacos de gringo. Simón. Hey, what's happening? I'm Eddie, the Skinhead Gourmet. Tonight we're making Gringos style tacos. Ole. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to start while my cutting board's clean. The one thing I've got that I got to do is I got to cut some tomatoes. I have some diced garlic in the fridge. Before I get this guy all covered with blood and other things that need to be cooked to be safe, we're going to start with our raw ingredients. I'm going to show you how to properly dice a tomato. We're going to quarter it, and then we're going to come in, we're going to nail this tiny little piece of the stem, and we're going to follow the little seed pod down. We're going to clean out all the seeds and all the juice. If you ever have to dice tomatoes to be clean, if you're going to try to save them for any period of time, you don't want them to get all wet and soggy and turn into tomato soup, you want to get that out, slice into nice little strips, and then it's just a quick easy few slices and you've got nice little tomatoes. They're going to present nicely, they're clean, there's no seeds. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of a, what I can call a ghetto gringo salsa. It's not your typical traditional salsa rojo. It's not pico de gallo. It's going to be its own thing. One big thing is we have an onion allergy in the house, so we keep that out. We have found we can get away with dried, dehydrated onions in a jar. We're going to start with just adding probably about a teaspoon of that, about a half a teaspoon of black pepper, a very quick sprinkle of cayenne pepper, probably about 2 teaspoons worth of comino. We're going to take our tomato seeds and all the stuff from the inside of the tomatoes. I'm going to toss this into a bowl. A couple shakes of a tasty taco sauce. We've all got our preferences. I obviously have mine. We're going to add that to some sour cream. What we're going to do is make a nice little taco dressing. It'll taste great. It's by no means authentic, but the flavors add very well. So we're going to get our tortillas, get ready to be tacoed up. Now, to keep it extra gringo, we are using flour tortillas. Corn tortillas are also a wonderful option. We have a skillet we have up on high heat. It's nice and hot. We're going to get 2 of these guys going, and we're just going to kind of warm up the one side. We're actually going to take a little bit of our grated Parmesan cheese. We're going to spread just a little bit around. Because what we're going to do is this is going to actually be the outside of the taco. Or the tortilla rather. And we're going to take just 1 or 2 little shreds of cheddar cheese. But what we're going to have is like a nice cheese crusted tortilla. Just going to taste damn fine. So after they've been sitting for a minute, it's starting to warm up. You can already see the cheddar cheese is starting to melt just a tiny bit, and it's going to be brown on the inside. I'm going to flip these boys over. Again, a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the inside. This is going to melt down a little bit. We're going to just throw a little bit of cheese on here. We're going to let that melt inside. So then when we go to make our tacos, we got a nice little bed of melted cheese already attached to the taco. And we're just building our flavors and layers right from the get-go. So today I'm going to show you how to do taco de gringo de bisteca and taco de gringo de pollo. So we're doing basically steak and chicken, although this also works great if you've got like old pork chops, pork shoulder, tongue, like ground beef. You can make a taco de carne molida. It works. It's a recipe that translates great for a lot of different proteins, but we're going to go with a couple of common easy ones. I've got a saute pan here with just a little bit of oil, basically enough to coat the bottom. And this is nice and hot. So we're going to start, we're going to get our meat right into it. And we're going to give a little sprinkle of some diced garlic. And a little splash of chicken stock. One of the benefits of cutting your meat so small is that it's going to cook very fast. And if you're like me and you've got meat scraps around the house, it's always easy to get a couple of small pieces to throw into a pan, and you've got your dinner ready to go. Now we're going to season. I'm not going to use any measurements because I'm using a small amount. It's the best way I can describe it is to kind of go by feel and what kind of flavor you're going for. The first seasoning we're going to use is probably one of the most important flavors we're going for. Us gringo folk know it as cumin. A lot of people know it as comino. But you basically want to cover all of the meat with a fine layer of the stuff. This is a predominant flavor that you want in the dish. Next thing, I would recommend either whole onions or, depending as to how much you like onion, how much you put in. The minced onion is going to work well. I'm a fan of the flavor. To go with our regular fresh garlic, a quick sprinkling of garlic powder. They're two different flavors. It's not like I'm trying to be repetitive with them. Trust me on this one. We're going to add a little bit of chili powder. That's one you're going to want to add according to taste. A little bit of parsley, either dried or fresh. A nice healthy amount of oregano. It's another strong flavor that we want all through the dish. Quick sprinkle of cayenne pepper to add a little extra heat. A generous amount of black pepper. It's one of the few things you'll ever see me use salt on at home. And a little bit of paprika. That'll also help give like a nice color that will seem very familiar to many of us gringos who've eaten in Americanized Mexican restaurants. You want to get everything tossed. You're going to take your pan, add a little bit of water. Now, if you want to leave this to go for a long time, you can keep your stove on low heat. Add a little more water. Cover this. If you're using a tougher cut of meat, if you've got a long time to go, maybe you didn't get it all the way defrosted from the freezer. For whatever reason, if you want to have more time into it, covering it, low heat, extra water is going to make for a super tender, super delicious dish. If you're cooking a large amount, that's definitely the way to go. You're going to disperse the flavor a lot better that way, especially with more protein in the pan. For doing chicken, one of the differences will make between the two is I'm going to take some of my tomato seeds. I've already got my seasonings, my chicken stock going. I'm going to add those in. And with the chicken, a little bit of lemon just seems to really go a long way. This is also, if you happen to have some fresh cilantro around the house, or culantro, this is a wonderful time to add a little bit. A nice little fine chiffonade will complement the chicken very nicely. Tonight, well, in this chicken, I'm using chicken breasts because that's what I happen to have in the freezer. I'm kind of bummed out. More often than not, this is a great time if you ever like to break down and clean your own chickens. It's a great use for your legs and thighs if you don't like dark meat so much. I'm not a huge fan, but just the fact that they're moister and a little bit more flavorful, this is the perfect place for it. Because you can slow cook them, they'll take the heat, and they're just going to absorb flavor. If you have any kind of parts that you're not using as much, go with a slower cooking. It's a great way to use them. Reduce any kind of household waste you have, and make wonderful food out of the cheap parts you might get rid of otherwise if you didn't know better. So we've got our protein cooked, we've got our ghetto salsa made, we've got our tortillas prepared. At least my favorite way to go about these guys is you want to get a little bit of meat on the bottom, right on top of that cheese you've already melted. Gonna get a little bit of our ghetto gringo salsa on top. So if you're a big fan of sour cream on your tacos, you're basically getting it with a little bit more flavor. Like a little bit of that cool diced tomato flavor on top of there. If you like lettuce, this is an excellent place to add some. Especially with the chicken, I would highly recommend some avocado if it's available and in season. Maybe just a little extra cheese. And if you like it a little on the hotter side, quick splash of taco sauce. You got beauty right there.
Mira muchachita, oh, te pido disculpa. Por todo lo que oíste.
Say thank you again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you can look at this and realize this is by no means authentic. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned. Oi, say long.